Hello everyone, welcome back to a new vlog. I hope you're all doing really well. It's Wednesday afternoon, it's currently 4:30 and I have just taken Basil out for a little afternoon run around in the woods. I actually popped out to Dunelm and also B&M this morning because I really wanted to stock up on cleaning bits and bobs, just like a few random products, and B&M is great for that. So I got a few little bits in there. I also popped into Dunelm and I actually went into TK Maxx, which I never usually go in. I never think about TK Maxx, but I got a couple of bits in there, so I'll show you those in a moment. But I had a couple of requests on a little box that I put out on Instagram asking kind of what you want to see on YouTube, what you want to see more of, less of, anything new. And thank you so much if you did pop something in the box, because it was super helpful and just really good for me to see that you're enjoying the content I'm creating, but also just a bit of an understanding of like new things that I can film or kind of new updates to share with you. And one of the biggest ones was to do with the house renovations, house projects. Have we got anything in the pipeline, any plans, all things like that. And it's really weird because this has come at a perfect time, because actually when I'm filming this, yesterday was actually the day that we moved into our house 2 years ago. Cannot believe how quickly the time has gone by, but also it feels like we've lived here for a lifetime. The amount of hours we have spent bringing this house to life and the garden and everything, I dread to think how many hours and how much money has been spent. But we've loved every single second of it. And to be honest, the last maybe 8 months, 6 to 8 months, we haven't done loads in the house. I did my dressing room, and kind of apart from that, we haven't really done much. I think we just got to a point where the main things were done and it was very much livable. Our house was always livable, but you know, when you're ripping out the floors and it's dusty, it's just a little bit annoying. So we repainted the whole house. We redid the flooring downstairs, and you know, we did things like damp proofing the walls, replastering, lots of random things. But one of the big things that has been like a bit of a niggling thought in the back of my mind is the kitchen. And I think I've said this before, I don't know if I have, but we have a lot of plans with our house for the future that potentially could happen, that could be really amazing, that mean we would want to stay here forever. Things like planning permission, extending, things like that. We're not really at a place yet where we want to do any of those things, but it's definitely in our future. So we haven't wanted to do any huge projects in terms of like knocking down walls, refitting the kitchen, bathrooms, things like that, because a lot of that would change in the future. So it kind of feels like a little bit of a waste of money if we, you know, put in a whole brand new kitchen and then to a point where we're ready and it, you know, it's only been in for a few years. It just seems like a big waste of money. And our kitchen is fine. It's absolutely fine. Parts of it I really love. So decided that when we moved in, we would repaint the kitchen cabinets, obviously repaint the walls, give it a bit of a freshen up and do something with the tiles and the worktop. We didn't really know what, but we ended up replacing the tiles really inexpensively. We just got very cheap tiles from B&Q, and instead of buying new worktops, we used a vinyl wrap on the worktop, which again, super inexpensive, £5 a roll. I think we needed 3 rolls and that was it. So a very inexpensive way to freshen up the kitchen, make it feel like ours, and just kind of give it a bit of new life, really. But one thing that we kind of didn't really take into account when we first moved in, and this is why I always say when you make big decisions, think about it a lot, especially when it comes to your home. I think it can be so easy to just, you know, you've moved into a new place, you want it to feel like yours, you have this excitement, you want to do everything now. And although that is amazing, if you're making quite bold decisions and you haven't lived in the space and, you know, you don't know where the light comes in and how bright certain places are, some decisions you make on colours, textures, anything may not be the best decision and you might regret it later down the line. So I'm sat here 2 years later, having just had a really big conversation with Jack about refreshing the kitchen. Both of us have kind of decided, without discussing it actually, it's like our brain is so in sync, that we wanted to just give the kitchen a bit of a new lease of life. It is a very dark part of our house because it doesn't really get much sunlight past 12 o'clock. So all afternoon, all evening, it is a very dark spot in the house. It also doesn't get much light because there's only 2 small windows, and you know, it doesn't bring in a lot of light into the room. So the paint colour that we decided on, I absolutely loved, and I painted everywhere in that colour. The stairs, the front door, the kitchen cabinets, everywhere was painted in that colour, and I still love the colour, but it gives off a very different finish and a very different hue on the front door, which has obviously natural light all the time, it's outside, compared to the kitchen cabinets, which are very dark and have a lot of shadows. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've really loved it, but we just kind of all sat there and we were thinking, I think we need to brighten the kitchen up and make it like a little bit airier, a little bit fresh. And I suppose in the last 2 years, we've really kind of honed in on the style that we both love, and different colours and textures and patterns and things that we feel really drawn to. So one thing about me is if I've got an idea in my head, I want to do it straight away. So once we had decided, okay, let's repaint the cabinets, we'll do that first. We still might replace the tiles. We're not sure yet. And I think we will definitely be getting some sort of new worktop, mainly just because the vinyl wrap, although it's been great, it needs replacing because we have, you know, cemented the tiles on, we've grouted the tiles on, we've painted, and we put that on. I think that was the first thing we actually did in the house. I remember we moved in on the Saturday, and on the Sunday we went to B&Q, picked it up and put it straight on. So that has been there for a very long time. You know, it's taken a beating, so it needed replacing. Jack actually looked into getting like a laminate worktop, which are very inexpensive, around £100 for, you know, a certain width. I think it's a little more long lasting. Also, we can reuse that in the future. Something like a laundry room or a pantry or anything like that, we could reuse that piece again. So anyway, that is what I've been doing. I went straight to the hardware shop. Webb's in Tenston is my favourite place to buy everything because I just love it in there. Picked up some paint samples, and the next day I went straight back and bought the paint that we decided on, got home and literally started painting at 10 AM, and that is what I've been doing the last 2 days. So the kitchen is now done in terms of painting. I just finished off the last coat of kind of like varnish just to seal it. I've also got a couple of new little touches that I've added, just kind of moving around decor in the house and just giving it a bit of a brightness. And I love it. I am so happy with it. It feels very cottagey still. I mean, we've still got the quarry tiles in there. It still has the beams, you know, the character of the English country feel of what our house is. But it just feels a little bit brighter. Jack actually said to me it feels really American to him, which is really interesting. I don't know where he's got that from. So yeah, I've got a couple of little ideas that I wanted to show you. I thought I would share with you how it's currently looking. I was going to film all the painting, but I just thought that's probably really boring because it's just going to be a massive time lapse of me painting and listening to podcasts. So I decided not to. So let me bring you downstairs and I will show you what it's looking like. Sorry if you can hear the washing machine in the background. It's got like a couple of minutes left and it's just in that phase where it's going wild. But I just cannot tell you how much brighter and fresher the kitchen feels. I'm just so happy that we decided to do it. So inexpensive and just quick and easy. Just painting your kitchen cabinets. It really makes the world of difference. So let me show you this little corner. I'm still playing around with a couple of things like cushions, just kind of utilising what we've already got in the house, and just playing around with different things. So the colour that I went for is Slipper Satin by Farrow & Ball. I haven't got the light on above the table to try and show you it in like a true natural light, but I just love this colour so much. It's a really beautiful kind of warm, creamy neutral. It feels quite cream, but then it's got these like green blue undertones. and it's just brought the kitchen alive so much more. I think it works really nicely with the red quarry tiles, but also the white walls. It's just such a nice in-between colour, and it feels quite inoffensive as well. I've just been playing around with some cushions because I'm kind of contemplating bringing in a little bit of blue into the cushions. We all know I'm obsessed with blue. I feel like it's just the easiest colour to style. It's so timeless. I think it just goes with our house really nicely. So I've just brought in these cushions from the garden just to kind of see how I'm feeling about that. These, I actually don't know where these are from. I got these for my birthday, so I've got no idea. They've got no labels on them or anything. But I also have the little Home Sense ones just to kind of see about the sizing. I think this sizing is better for the bench. I mean, ideally what I need to do is get some cushions made for this bench, some actual seat cushions, because obviously we don't really want to be sitting on wood all the time. It's not the comfiest. But I'm trying to find somewhere to get some cushions made in a fabric that I really love, and that is quite a big task. I'm quite indecisive, so that I'm just kind of, you know, keep looking, keep doing my research. These two pieces of artwork are from the Country Furniture Barn, which is around the Flimwell area. Oh my goodness, it's one of my favourite furniture places ever. If you get a chance to go there, please do, because it's just so amazing. I could have my whole entire house with furniture from there. I just love it. So I got these two frames as a set from there, and I love the detail, I love the colour, I love the fact that the frames are very similar to our Cotswold Company dining table, just this really lovely washed oak. It just feels very English country house, which is very much what our house is. So yeah, that is how this little corner is looking. I still need to choose a pendant light for this, so that still needs to be done. I've also repainted the back of the stable door as well, just to freshen that up. I did make a little bit of an accident with my paintbrush down here because Basil was about to jump up on the wet door and I panicked and my paintbrush went on the wall, so I need to repaint that. But something I picked up today was this little kind of rug, this little doormat. And I picked this up from Dunelm. It was £5 and it's basically just an offcut of carpet that's been bound. So a really good, easy option to put by the door. And the reason I got this is because it's really good size. Because by the time you walked into the door, you're then standing on the floor anyway. So the longer length is so much better. And we use this door as our front door, so kind of need it to actually work. And then this is how the kitchen cabinets are looking. It feels so much brighter in here. I just love it. One thing we are contemplating doing is changing up the tiles to something that matches the worktops a little bit more, a bit brighter, just kind of really brightening up this room because it does get super dark. I mean, right now I've got the spotlights on above, I've got the lamp on and the lights under the cabinets, and it still feels really dark in here, and it is quite a cloudy, dark day, so it just really needs freshening up and brightening. So that is something we are contemplating with. We're not too sure yet. But in terms of like tiles and worktop options, we will probably do something similar to this, like some kind of just subtle white marble in like a porcelain or something like that. I always get questions about this vinyl wrap and whether it's good and if it's worked. And it definitely is good. I mean, I clean these sides down probably about 4 times a day. I am a bit of a clean freak. They do get wet. The only thing I would say is it has pulled in certain areas like this, but that is actually because we changed our oven. So Jack had to get the old oven out, refit the new one. It was really difficult to get it to be level because the tiles are so wonky. So we ended up actually ripping this while we were putting it in. But apart from that, it's been brilliant. We've put the tiles in, we've sealed it, and yeah, it's been really, really good. So I do recommend these vinyl wraps. I do think they are great. They just do get a lot of wear and tear, but I think that is because we have been doing things like painting, cement, concrete, sanding. This room has really taken a battering, so kind of this has been like the main brunt of all of that. In terms of the colour of the cabinets, I just love it. And my mum actually just came over and she said she couldn't believe how much the handles are now standing out. And these handles were just already here. These were like the original handles. The cabinets are all the original ones. I just sanded them and painted them. And it really has made the world of difference. It feels so much brighter and bigger, especially this corner. I feel like this whole half of the kitchen just feels so much more spacious. I can't even explain it. It just feels like we've got more room, even though we haven't. So the next thing on our kind of to-do list is this corner. And when I'm vlogging in my little spot over there in the kitchen, I always hate it when I've got this in the background because it's just a mess. There's no like rhyme or reason to this area. There's wires everywhere. We just stuck a TV up on the wall. Basil's crate is obviously here. It's just a bit of a messy area. So one thing that we will do is Basil doesn't actually sleep in his crate anymore. He actually barely goes in there. The only time he goes in there is if he is playing and he's getting a toy from underneath the mat. So I think we've got to the point now where we can actually get rid of his crate and give him another sofa bed in the kitchen that is like super cozy and comfy. You know, his sofa bed, his brown one. So I think the plan is to get another one. I'll just show you it. It's just here. Usually I keep his sofa bed here because this is where he sleeps if I go out. I mean, to be honest, he sleeps here for a little bit, but then he goes straight on the sofa. So we're going to get another one of these. So he's got one for kind of dining room and the lounge, and then we can have another one in the kitchen, so we just don't have to move it around all the time. He loves it. This is his absolute favourite thing in the world. He sits with his arms up on the side, he rests his head on the back, he just loves it. So I think we will definitely be replacing his cage for another one of these. But something I would like to do in this corner, aside from Basil's bed, is actually get some more storage, because we really struggle with storage in our kitchen. There is not a lot, and it's really difficult to actually put stuff away neatly and not have the entire cupboard fall out on you. Our kitchen is definitely not that small. I wouldn't say it's humongous, but it's definitely not small. We do have a lot of space in here. I just think the layout is not the best, and that is kind of things that we would want to change in the future. So in terms of like adding storage onto this wall, I am thinking to get some sort of really beautiful cabinet dresser style thing that kind of matches in with the rest of the kitchen, feels very suited to the house. When we looked around the house, actually, the previous owner did have a really big dresser in this corner, and actually I did think when I saw it, that's a great idea and a great space for that, because it gives you that little bit of extra cupboard space. We will be getting rid of the TV as well. This is such a controversial thing. Like, some people are not TV when they eat or TV in their bedroom. We very much are. Oh, the sun's just come out. It's so bright. The weather today is so strange. The clouds are literally black and it's bright sunshine. What is Basil doing? He's just standing. Oh, he's watching the rabbits. He's literally just standing out there watching the world go by. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about TVs, but I think we're going to get rid of the TV just because we don't actually really use it. We very rarely sit here to eat dinner, actually. We sit on the sofa most of the time. The only time we sit here is if we have like a roast dinner, but we just don't use the TV enough. So we're thinking of just getting rid of the TV. I think we'll probably put it in the barn, and then we can have some sort of nice big dresser up here, and Basil's bed can sit in front, because I have a cupboard. The cupboard up here on the wall is just filled with like baking stuff, medicine, and just a ton of water bottles. And that cupboard, I just never go in it because I don't really use that stuff a lot. So all of that can go down here in some cupboards, and then I've got an entire double cupboard to then move all the baking trays and all the saucepans that fall out the cupboard every single time I open it, because it's literally jam-packed. So I'm just trying to be efficient with kind of the storage that we're going to add. And I think that's going to be really lovely and just a really nice way to add a bit more personality, a bit of something else. I'm hoping to get something that's got some shelves on, so I can add like plates or like all my nice jugs. Like, I can have my really nice burley jug on display, and yeah, just kind of add really nice things. One other thing that I am going to do in the kitchen is actually replace these frames. I'm going to put these probably in my office or maybe in the living room. I really want to add a couple of my really beautiful plates onto the wall. Actually, again, when we moved in, the previous owner had plates on the walls in the downstairs bathroom, I think in here, I think in the dining room. There were a lot of things kind of on the walls that looked really beautiful, and I think that is what I want to do, just add a bit more, a little bit of colour, a little bit of pattern, and it's just a really easy way to do that. So I have the really nice, beautiful plate that Jack's mum got me, but I'm thinking maybe like a slightly smaller. This gap is not huge because we keep this chair here because it's really handy to sit on. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe 3 plates along this wall would be really lovely. So I'm currently on the hunt. I've just been looking on eBay and Etsy and things like that. And I don't know whether to do 3 plates the same and like go for the burly Asiatic pheasant plate that I love, which is the same pattern as this jug, that really lovely soft blue. I'm thinking like 3 plates in that colour would just be so gorgeous, but I don't know whether to do 3 plates the same or whether to mix it up a bit and do like 3 completely different ones. I don't know. I'm just really excited to add a bit more life into this room. The other thing I want to do is add a runner onto the floor down here because the floor is freezing. I'm barefoot right now, but most of the time I'm wearing slippers, shoes or socks because this floor is so cold. And in the winter it's even worse, and it's also very echoey in here. I feel like whenever I film in here it's very echoey. Definitely once I've done like a good clean and a mop of the floor it's even worse. So I think adding in a nice bit of furniture in the corner, a big chunky cabinet, and then a runner will definitely help to soften that a little bit. So I've just found one on Amazon, which is a jute fabric, which is kind of what I wanted to just warm everything up a bit. And I think it's about 40 quid. So I'm going to order that and see what that's like. I just need to measure up and make sure it's the right length. And I think that's it. Oh, the only other thing I want to do is add another big lamp into that corner. I think once we've got the cabinet and we know the sizing and everything, I might get a really nice big lamp, which is kind of similar to my other ones that I love, blue and white china effect, just to again add a bit of colour but also brighten up that corner because there's no light source in that side of the room. So again, that bit gets really dark. But I am super happy with it. I just love it. I'm so pleased. I don't know if I put you in my normal spot. I don't know if you can see that much of a difference, but to me it feels so much brighter in here. It's almost like the wall cabinets, because they're such a soft colour, they just blend into the wall a bit more. It's like they're just melting in. They don't feel like they're so heavy and sticking out. And I think that was my error before, because I used such a dark colour. Well, to be honest, it wasn't really a dark colour. It just came up as a dark colour in this room because of the shadows. And I think it's just made everything feel quite heavy. And now it just feels so light and bright and lovely. And I'm really pleased with it. But it also still feels cozy. I've got that like cozy kitchen feel with like the lamps on, and I think a rug down here, it would just feel really lovely. So I'm very pleased, and it's so simple to do. Literally 1 simple pot of paint from Farrow & Ball, and that's it. Oh, and a little pot of varnish as well. That's all I did. So I used Farrow & Ball Slipper Satin in the Estate Emulsion, and then I used, I think it's a Ronseal outdoor varnish in matte. The reason it's outdoor is just because that's what I had in the shed, because I bought that a little while ago and I had quite a lot left, so I just used that up. But it doesn't really matter, but you definitely have to do some sort of varnish to seal your cabinets, otherwise you cannot clean them, the paint chips off, and it's just really not durable. I actually didn't varnish before inside the shelving down there that I painted, and honestly it just looked horrendous. I kind of got away with it because it looked so dark, but with a lighter colour you definitely need to varnish. So I've made sure to varnish every inch of the cupboards and every shelf and nook and cranny, so it's feeling really, really nice in here. I just love it. I'm super happy. So anyway, let me show you the little bits that I picked up from the shops this morning. So I popped into TK Maxx and B&M, as I said. TK Maxx, I got a couple of little random bits. I picked up these 2 little gift bags because I am always picking up nice cards, tissue paper, gift bags whenever I see them. There's always times when I want to give someone something and I don't have anything to put it in. So I picked up this one, which is very gorgeous, little tomatoes and a blue and green stripe. And it actually comes with some tissue paper as well, which is very handy. And then this one, another beautiful blue pattern with like a recycled paper feeling. These were £1.79 each, so amazing value and good to just have in the cupboard. These next 2 things I picked up. I've been on the hunt for a cute little summer hat to wear in the garden. I just wanted something really easy that wasn't expensive, that I can throw on when I'm gardening, sunbathing, reading my book, whatever, that's not my Hicks and Brown hat, because that's so beautiful and I don't want to get it covered in soil. I do have a couple of other hats, but they're not very, they're all like fedora hats, so I can't lean back. So when I'm reading my book, like on the sunbed, I can't lay back, and I wanted something that was flatter. So I couldn't decide which one, so I got two. They're both slightly different, but they're both from Elle magazine, so kind of random. This one was $14.99. I can't really put it on because my hair's up today because I've got hair oil in it and it needs a serious wash. So we've got this little hat. Obviously, excuse my hair, but I just thought, how cute is this? Just in the garden, very simple, cute, easy hat. I love the stripe, I love the scallop edge. And for $14.99, I mean, such a good price. And it's a really beautiful material, like a rattan, really lovely. And then I got this one, which kind of does remind me of like a little boy's hat. I can imagine Monty wearing this in a mini version, but I just love it. I really like the cream, the navy stripe, the very kind of thick linen-y feel. Really easy to just like fold up in a bag, but also it gives you good protection. Reading your book, gardening, I can lean back. It's really good. So I'm really pleased that we've got some nice weather this weekend, so I can whip out my new hats and wear them. I'll just get this oily hair back up because nobody wants to see the state of that. And then I went into B&M and I just got a couple of little random things, to be honest. Probably not very interesting, but I'll give you a quick look at what I got. I picked up some crease releaser because I haven't bought this for years. And I just thought that'd be quite handy. I got some drain unblocker for the shower. I got some new Dishmatic refills for our little Dishmatic sponge, which is the best thing in the world. I got a big toothpaste. This is the toothpaste we use, and it was on offer for like £3, I think, which is so much better than in supermarkets. I also got some laundry detergent, but that is in the cupboard already because I've just used it. And then I picked up this, Zoflora's limited edition Rose Garden scent. I haven't actually tried this yet, but I love Zoflora. The one I usually get is like the blue, I think it's the cotton one. It actually smells like alcohol, like it smells really strong. I am getting a bit of rose, but maybe it needs to be in the water. What I usually do with this is I put it in the toilets so it smells really nice, but also I put it in the sink with some warm water and just let it like fill the room after I finished cleaning, and it's so nice. You obviously can use this with cleaning as well, like you can mix it in with water and then use your sponge to like clean your sides and stuff. It's just a disinfectant really, you can use it for all sorts of things. Basil's fallen asleep on my doormat. Oh, you're awake now? You're a beautiful boy. Oh, I just love how this is looking. I'm so happy with it. I think the blue, the little touches of blue is definitely a very good idea. This is a very good look. Jack's gigantic Crocs. Before I start making dinner, I thought I would just come and have a little check on my roses. Oh, the pots that I planted up the other day have started to flower. The petunias are starting to come out, which is lovely. But the weather has been so awful. Crazy wind and rain. So I'm going to have a little check of the roses and see if I need to do any deadheading or any roses have snapped. Unfortunately, we have lost a couple of roses. I think they've just completely snapped off in the wind. Basil, he's got my socks. I don't know where he's got them from. So I'm just going to deadhead a couple of these. If you didn't know, when you deadhead roses, you want to cut down to 5 leaves and it promotes new buds. I'm actually going to trim this one right back because the delivery drivers keep getting it stuck in the gate because it's sticking out a lot. I'm just going to give that a good cut back, and I'll probably just pop this in a little bit of water in the kitchen. rose into some water in my little blue and white vase. Gorgeous. How nice is that in the kitchen? Perfect. Right, time to cook dinner. We're going to have gnocchi tonight and we're having a bit of a lazy dinner. So I'm going to use one of my Heinz sauces. I'm going to do the tomato mascarpone Heinz sauce with the gnocchi, with cheese. Delicious. Garden. It's Saturday morning and I really am excited to show you the peas. They are looking so much better. Thank you so much for all of your advice as well. I've got my little hat on today, but look at the peas. They look so much healthier. I stripped down all of the kind of crispy brown leaves and I actually moved some of them around because there was a really big cluster here. So I've moved some of these ones down to this end and I've also secured them to the bamboo with just a really loose little bit of twine, just so that they can kind of grow up nicely like these ones. But exciting news, we have some peas. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to actually see peas growing. It's so exciting. So we have 2 here and the beans are definitely looking a little bit better. I've noticed so many new shoots coming, new leaves coming down here. I've taken off a lot of the crispy brown leaves and they are growing literally like there's no tomorrow. This one in particular is going wild, and I've also just been tightening up these bits of string at the end because they were getting a little bit loose in the wind. And yeah, Jack's grandpa said he thinks it's literally just due to the fact we've had really hot weather, and they've come straight out of the greenhouse. We hardened them off, maybe just not long enough, and the wind, he said the wind is probably a massive thing because the ones at the front are kind of the ones that get the most battered. But yeah, lots of nice new healthy growth, so that is all good. Good morning, cheeky boy. It's a bit hot for you today, isn't it? Also, I wanted to share with you our dahlias. They are absolutely thriving. They look so good. A couple of the plants didn't take. I think a tuber in this gap here, and then I think maybe one from down here or here. But most of them have, so I'm really, really pleased. I cannot wait to see these come into bloom in the summer. They're going to just look so beautiful. So yes, thank you so much for all of your messages on last week's video. It was very helpful and it's always just good to hear like different perspectives because I think there's no rules with gardening, but everybody has such different ways of doing things. So I really like to kind of just like get different points of view, I suppose. It's Saturday, it's a beautiful day today. It's so warm. I don't know why I'm wearing this shirt, to be honest. I should be in a bikini. It's absolutely boiling, but I've just spent the morning cleaning, hoovering. This hat, I feel like this hat looks a bit strange like this. But yeah, I've just been sorting everything out in the house because this afternoon we are actually going over to the farm for a bit of a summery kind of chilled activities afternoon, which I'm really excited about. I think we've got a game of croquet planned, probably go on the boat, do some fishing, just lots of little bits and bobs. So I thought I would bring you along. I'm really excited. I know that Ben, Jack's brother, has been working really hard on the grass at the front where we play croquet each year. And it's looking really good, so I think this will be lots of fun. I've put a magnum of rosé in the freezer ready to bring with us, so I think it's going to be a lovely afternoon. I think I'm going to wear like a nice dress or something. Pardon you, Vaseline. Basil's going to be playing with his cousins and probably do lots of swimming in the ponds because it is very warm today. I think we're going to be staying over, which is really nice, and just spend some time with Jack's family, which will be lovely. Right, I've just had a quick change and got ready to head over to the farm. I've got on this dress from H&M that I showed you in a vlog a while ago. I haven't actually worn this yet and I just think it's so pretty. I love the shape of it, and it's also like a really thin fabric. It's double lined, but it's really floaty and soft, so it feels quite breathable. and just kind of easy to wear. Oh, sorry. And then I've got my Hermes Oran sandals on, and my Hicks and Brown hat. And I'm ready to go. I've also put some like bikini, shorts, bits like that in my bag as well, just in case that this is not appropriate if we do fishing or anything. But to be honest, most of the time when we do fishing, I just sit on the boat and drink the rosé. Just before we go, I'm gonna grab some lettuce and salad from the garden to take for Jack's mum, because I actually haven't taken her any yet. I've taken your grandma, friends, my mum, but not your mum. What should we do? Should we do a whole leaf?
Yeah, do a whole one.
I need my scissors. Where are they? I had them.
Edward Scissorhands.
These aren't really very good scissors, but they'll do the job. Should we do a nice big one?
Yeah, big one.
What about that one at the back?
Yeah, go on then.
That's a nice. Oh my god, that is a big one. Got to feed a family of 6. At least we can put this in our burgers. How cool is that? Right, let me get a little. Right. There we go. Got the goods. Ready for our barbecue tonight. The truck is loaded up with salad and a big boy. Big Bazzy in the back. Off to the farm. It's so handy that they literally live 5 minutes from our house. It's so good. We just pop around there all the time because it's so close. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to a nice afternoon. It's gonna be really lovely. And it's the first of many lovely summer afternoons in the garden at the farm.